I'm trying to develop leadership in every one of the kids in there, all 12, 13, even the walk-ons. And if I'm looking at a big picture, there's two reasons. One of those, two of those, 9 of them, 10 of them may be thrust into a leadership position at some time. So I try to teach them all. The second thing is, if you're trying to be led by one guy, not 1, 2, or 3, 4 guys, what if that guy struggles? What if he gets hurt? What if he's playing poorly? What if you have to discipline him? So you want more than one leader. You want groups of leaders, and you want to try to teach them all what it means to lead. One, it's servant leadership. Leadership is not because you want to do it to be the first guy walking out of the locker room. It's because you want to be the last guy out of the locker room, but you want everybody that's in front of you, they know that you've helped them.
One thing that you got to have is your passion. You got to be able to do what others won't, and you have to be able to sacrifice. Sacrifice, S-A, comes before success, S-U in the dictionary. And therefore, it's the same in life. You have to sacrifice something, give something up in order to be successful. And you just have to work hard and know how to grind every day. You have to be able to differentiate people that are around you that are good and people that are around you that are bad. Not everybody is going to be in your corner for a positive situation. Sometimes people want to be in your corner to bring you down. You want people around you that are better than you, that will uplift you.
You're leading to help the team, to help individuals, to help us play at our best. And you're taking the approach that I'm more concerned about everybody else than me. Hard to do. Second part is you have to be responsible, that you have to take care of yourself too. In other words, it's hard to lead if you're the last one in the gym. It's hard to lead if you're not working real hard in practice, if you're not giving great enthusiasm. You can't ask anybody else to give enthusiasm and be enthusiastic and be passionate if you're not. And it's an everyday thing, not a sometimes thing. And lastly, when the bullets are flying and it's crazy, you got to continue to lead. It's not easy. It usually takes time. It's hard to get young freshmen to lead. Wenyan, for his part, is doing a good job. And now you look at, when we do these combinations of who's playing well, the common denominator is Wenyan. And it's because of his effort and all the other things that he does.
I think first of all, the way these kids grow up, coaches, it's hard for them to trust. And when they have mentors, family members in their life, uncles, mothers, fathers, coaches, it's vital for us as adults to understand where they're coming from. Because like most kids, in order to learn, you have to make mistakes. You have to learn from your mistakes. And I was fortunate enough to come from a good family, a mother and a father who taught me and at times beat me into making the right choices.
It starts at home, but then you look and say, well, what about someone who didn't have that strength at home? Now what happens? Well, it's hard to guess. Who are you following? Who are you watching? Mentors give you the boundaries that you need to work within. They give you direction of exactly what are you trying to do in your life, and let's put a little plan together. They teach you different things about trust, because what happens for most of us, that's the hardest thing to build within people, that trust. And if your trust was ever broken, it's even doubly hard. In other words, you were kicked to the curb, or you were berated as a child, or whatever it may be, and you're walking through, and now relationships are tougher. The mentor teaches you that, man, I can trust somebody, which puts you to that next step of, you know what, I'm figuring out I'm not going to do this by myself. It's going to take a lot of people coming together to help. And the only way that can work is if you trust the people around you. Well, the other thing is there are mentors out there, but you got to go swim to them. You know, you, at the end of the day, for whatever happened, whatever goes on in our lives, we've lost 2 games. I still got to swim. I got to swim right now, and maybe have to swim harder. Maybe have to trust more. Maybe have to put myself out. And that's when I say you have to swim, you have a responsibility. They're throwing a life raft to you, but you got to go swim to it. You got to go there. It's not coming to you. You can't sit on the couch and watch TV and play video games all day and think, all right, I'm going to get better. And I say this to my team, if you don't like what's happening with your game or in your life, whatever you're doing must change. In other words, whatever your preparation is must change. Whatever your work habits are, they got to change. Obviously, they're not working. If you think you can do all the things away from being different or helping yourself, and then you're going to change the result, it's crazy, it's insanity. There are things, if you don't like what's happening, I got to change. I got to act different, I got to be different, I got to work different, I got to be around different people, I've got to go to mentors, I got to trust. I'm not trusting, so look where I am. And that's a big part of all of it.
And Coach Godfrey, this whole idea of what he's doing with these young people, the mentors, and the young men that don't have fathers. I mean, Coach never knew I never had a father, but he was like my father. He doesn't get to see me often, but if he knew, if he had a camera following me around, he'd see me doing some of the same things that I saw him doing. There's a lot going on with young people, and they're from different backgrounds, different areas. You don't know their story unless you spend time with them. The greatest thing that we have is time. It's the most expensive thing that we can give to them. It's not Nikes, none of that stuff. The time that we have to give them.
Why did you and Ellen invest in Team Focus, a ministry for young men without fathers?
I deal with young people, and I know that when they're taught in a loving, trusting situation, they'll make it. Now, making it is they'll be their best version. They'll climb to the levels they should climb to, and probably beyond, because it's like a renewed energy that they didn't realize this world was out there, never even thought about it. And when you and I sat down and we talked about it, I said, this is great, it's gonna work, it's gonna be year-long, it's not a one-week thing, it's all the time thing, it's about staying in touch with these kids. See, when you go in and you do a program and it's for 1 week, you're doing more for yourself than the kids. Doesn't work. Again, it's something they can't trust. Someone comes in and then they leave again. But when you're trying to do something year-round, when you're trying to tie all the knots together to say, we're gonna make this rope so strong, and between us and you, that we're gonna be here for you. And as long as you're holding on to that rope, hands bleeding, kicking alligators, I don't care, just hold on to that rope. We'll be here for you. And that's why I thought this is something that's really good and gonna be effective.